Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be filming something completely different than what you're used to seeing. When I put out a request for videos a month or so ago, I had a couple people ask to film a cooking with me video, and I do a decent amount of cooking, I guess. I actually prefer to bake, but today I am about to make my favorite homemade granola. My husband and I are going to Rhode Island with his family this coming week, so I thought it would be fun to make some of this to bring for breakfast. You know I am on a really insane parfait kick, so I've been making yogurt parfaits almost every morning for breakfast, so I want to have some of this on hand at home anyway, and I thought that this would be a great opportunity to film a cooking with me video because this is a really easy recipe. I don't think I can mess it up. You never know, but we're gonna give it our best shot. So I busted out my iPad. I never use this, but when I'm cooking something, I really like to be able to look at the recipe the entire time. It's sort of annoying to do it on your phone. So I whipped out my iPad. I actually blogged this recipe, I want to say in 2017, because I love it that much. I love this little Kate Spade cover, it's so cute. It also has one of those little kickstands, whatever you want to call it, so I can prop this up and follow along. I'm actually gonna leave it over here out of view, so you won't see it, but I will. Also, like a real chef, like a real cooking show, I've already prepared all my ingredients. So everything that I need is already pre-portioned and ready to go. We're just gonna get started. I'm gonna wash my hands. I don't know if you can see me over here. Yeah, kind of. I'm so excited to be doing this. I feel like Jada. First thing, preheat oven to 300 degrees. So I'm gonna do that real quick. And then all the ingredients you need for this recipe are 4 cups of rolled oats, half a teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of sliced, chopped, or slivered almonds. These ones are sliced. May have gone a little more than a cup here. 1 tablespoon of ground cinnamon, 1/3 cup of oil. I like to use coconut oil for this recipe. I feel like the taste is just incredible. It pairs so well with granola, but you can also use a vegetable oil if you prefer. 2/3 cup of honey, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 1 to 2 handfuls of craisins. So that's it. Super, super easy. So we're gonna start by mixing all of the dry ingredients in a large bowl. We're gonna actually save the craisins for last, so that's gonna go in after it's cooked. Oats, almonds into the bowl, salt into the bowl, and a tablespoon of ground cinnamon into the bowl. I'm gonna use a spatula for this. My sister actually got me this really cute set of spatulas over the winter. I love them. They also have all these really handy measurements on the back, so when you're baking, that definitely comes in handy. Lightly fold it, mix it, distribute the almonds, the cinnamon, the oats, a little bit of salt, and we're good. I'm gonna set that aside. Now we're gonna work with the wet ingredients. This is the bowl I used for the oats. I'm just gonna wipe it out quickly. Not that it really matters, but just to make sure that it's clean. In here, we're gonna mix the coconut oil, the honey, and the vanilla. First up, coconut oil. Next, we have the 2/3 cup of honey. Most of it came out, but I'm gonna grab this other cute mini spatula just to get the remainder. There we go. Now we're gonna add our 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So in this bowl here, I'm just going to mix it up so that it's all combined. Get that honey kind of incorporated into the oil, spread out the vanilla. It smells so good. All 3 of these ingredients smell incredible on their own, but mixed together, they're amazing. I don't know if you've ever made homemade granola, but I never had up until a few years ago. My aunt had actually made it and gave us some, and it was just so incredibly delicious that she completely inspired me to make my own. And that is when I found and blogged this recipe. I will be sure to link my blog post in the description box so that you can check it out. There's also a bunch of pictures. There's also a really cute picture of Lily. She used to just be my right-hand girl. Anytime I was blogging or taking pictures, she would be right by my side, and she makes quite a few appearances on my blog. So when I pulled up this recipe today, it was kind of bittersweet to see her adorable face. I miss that she so much. If you didn't hear, she passed away in July, a couple days after our wedding. She really wasn't doing well for the past few months, and we kind of knew that it was coming. The only positive of it was that we all got to say goodbye. She passed away in our home, sleeping between my parents. she's really their dog, so she was sleeping with her mom and dad. So I went over to my parents' house the night she really wasn't doing well, and we just kind of held her and loved on her, and she was just dead to the world, like complete dead weight, just not well at all. We kind of just hugged her and kissed her and said our goodbyes, and it was so sad. Quick pause, we're gonna combine the wet and dry ingredients now. But we all went to sleep knowing that she may not wake up, and unfortunately she didn't wake up that morning. And Dan and I were leaving for our honeymoon that morning. My dad wrapped her up so sweetly. We still had a bunch of wedding flowers and my bouquet, and we just kind of laid her on the table with the flowers around her, and it was very sweet. I think she passed very peacefully, but it was still so sad. We were like, it was such a whirlwind. My mom was supposed to drive Dan and I to the airport. We ended up just driving ourselves, so we headed down to New York, parked, kind of rushed through the airport, got through security, got on the plane, and I would say like probably 10 minutes after we took off, I just started like crying somewhat uncontrollably. I was crying when I saw Lily that morning, but made it through the whole drive and security and all that. But once I sat down on the plane and kind of processed everything that had just happened, it was like, it was so sad. Anyway, I don't want this whole video to be about Lily, but I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna be talking about her and sharing her for so many years to come. She was just a really special little Insta famous dog. I loved her more than anything, and it's kind of funny because when we first got her, I didn't want her. I didn't want a dog. I was a senior in high school. My brother and sister basically convinced my mom on spring break that we needed a dog. I wanted nothing of it because I had been scared of dogs my whole life, but when she arrived, I was a little salty for like the first couple days, and then after that there was just no way you couldn't love that little Chi. Like, she became just like a really important part of our life. So anyway, I can't talk about it anymore. The granola is mixed. This video took a turn. Whew. All right, we're all done. So it's all mixed. It smells delicious. And now I have 2 baking trays because I didn't know how many I was gonna need. I didn't know if one would be enough, but I think the key to getting the granola really crispy is making sure that it's not piled on top of each other. So I'm just gonna cover this sheet as much as I can before it builds up, and then we'll move on to the second. I'll probably do 2 anyway. All right, so you could put foil on your sheet. You can use parchment paper. It just helps with cleanup and helps with the sticking. So I'm just gonna try to separate this as much as I can. I got all in my feels with Lily on my brain now. I'm gonna show you the picture of her at the end of this blog post because she's just so darn precious. I can't believe it's already September. I'm so glad that we have this one little final hurrah beach trip to Rhode Island. I really enjoy actually going to beach towns in September. They're just not crowded. The weather is still like super comfortable. There's a little chill in the air at night, but it's just like, it's the best time to wind down before full-blown fall starts. And I don't know about you guys, but I've always been so adamant about fully embracing the seasons while we're in them. So I've never been one to like prematurely decorate for Christmas or hop on all the fall things in August. I always had like a hard, especially when I was working in an office, October 1, I would not have any kind of pumpkin, spice, or apple, anything until October 1st. It was just my little rule. I'm trying to stick to that, but I feel like once we get back from Rhode Island, I may indulge a little bit, but you want to embrace the seasons while they're still here, because before you know it, you're on to the next, and we all know what comes after fall. Nothing exciting. Well, that's not true. The holidays are really exciting, and then after that, it's just like pure cold misery until like April, May. So if we can push that off as long as possible, I'm good with that. These are gonna go into the 300-degree oven for about 10 minutes. Then I'm gonna pull them out, mix them up, and put them back in for another 10 to 12 minutes. So let's do that. This house is gonna smell so good. All right, so I'm gonna go wash all these dishes so that they don't pile up too much, and then I will be back in 10 minutes to show you how we're doing with our granola. So the oven just went off. I'm gonna pull both of these pans out, mix them up, and then pop them back in for another 10 to 12 minutes. So let me sit you down here. Oh, these smell so good. Can you see better there? Sort of. Whenever a recipe asks you to take something out halfway and then stir it, I always make such a mess. I mean, I don't mind doing it, but I do find it a little challenging. There's an easier way to do this. Please share your tricks. All right, this one looks good. This one looks good. Back into the oven they go. Set my timer. And just enjoy this delicious smell in my house right now. Oh, while I have you over here. So here was the blog post I wrote way back when, Bella Bites, that was my little like recipe series. Took some really cool pictures actually of this. I loved these shots. Granola, this is like the step we're at right now. And then here's my little baby. She's so stinking cute. Ah, I miss that cheese so much. So in that 10 minutes, I washed all the dishes. So the countertops are clean, the dishes are clean, and when that comes out, I'm gonna let it cool completely, add the craisins, and then I use parchment so I don't even have to wash the pans. It's my kind of recipe. So I put it back in for 12 minutes. It smells really good, but I think I want it to be a little crispier, so we're gonna let it go for a few more. All right, so I kept pulling it out, mixing it up, and putting it back in. I probably cooked it for an additional maybe 10 minutes, so nearly double what I had originally said in the recipe. I just like it crispier. I don't want my oats to be soggy in any way. I don't want them to be soft to the bite. I want there to be a little bit of a crunch. So I popped it back in the oven. I think it's ready to come out. I'm gonna pull it out right now, so we're gonna check it out together. Here is the granola, perfectly browned, nice and crispy. It smells amazing. You want it to cool completely. So I think I'm actually gonna get it off of these hot pans and put it onto the countertop. All right, that worked sort of. Oh, I can't wait to taste it, and I cannot wait to add the craisins. Low-key, the craisins are like the best part. 1, 2. We got it, we kinda got it. Oh boy. All right, it has been probably 20-30 minutes and our beautiful granola is all cooled. It looks amazing, it smells amazing, and I think we need to do a little taste test. It's amazing. It's honestly amazing. Oh, it's so good. I transferred all of the granola back into this big bowl, and now I'm gonna go ahead and add my craisins. So I'm just gonna sprinkle them in. I'm kind of doing it like this just to break up any clumps, because you don't really want like a clump of craisins. That was already a couple handfuls, so taking my spatula, we're just gonna mix it. If you've never made your own granola before, I highly recommend you try it. I'm just gonna use the rest of the craisins because they're easy to pick out if someone doesn't like them. So darn excited. Rinse my hand. Now that it's all done, I need to store it. I registered for a bunch of these OXO containers. I haven't used them yet, so this is the first time busting them out. I'm just gonna go ahead and start filling it. A little easier for me to work with my right hand. You take the top and just seal it. What's nice about this is you can just pop it up and then pour it. So that's great. I'm gonna swing by my parents' house tomorrow, so I'm gonna make a little one to bring to them as well. So that is it for my very first cooking or baking with me video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please give this a thumbs up. If you want to try this recipe, which I really think you should, if you are a fan of granola, check it out in the description box. I'll leave a link to the blog post. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. Let me know if you enjoyed this style video, and maybe I'll do some more in the future. In the fall, there's definitely a handful of recipes that I make every single year, kind of like a tradition. I really look forward to making them, so maybe I'll make this little like cozy fall series and get better at my filming setup and all that. I did the best I could. But that's it for today. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in my next one.